I'm here with writer and director Tomisin and also the lovely Lewis as well. Now, Marianne, a beautiful film about love and faith. It touched me again. You've done it to me again. You always do that, and it's something that is very deep, and it gripped me right from the beginning, and it carried through. Every time when I watch your films, it always leaves me with this, lump in my throat, and always great meanings at the end.
Yeah.
So please tell me a little bit more about it, because I could natter on about it forever. Go on, you talk.
Well, the film was my grad film at film school, and it's about a young Nigerian man who travels to an African church with his terminally ill wife. So, I mean, it's a love story, but it explores strong themes like love and death and faith. But also faith healing, because I think faith healing hasn't really been explored in film before, so I felt it was important to, really tell this story, but also tell it from a very African perspective as well. So
it was set in a Pentecostal setting, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. And I grew up in an African church, so, so I've seen a lot of interesting things. So I just felt that, setting a love story in an African setting like that will make it very interesting. So, yeah, I'm just very excited that, it's played at a few places already, and like the reaction to it has been really great because people haven't really seen films that explore faith healing themes. So yeah, I'm just very humbled and excited that it's had this reception so far. So yeah, so
most definitely, of course, it's going to have this reception all the time.
I know. Yeah. But it's always great because I mean, you make a film and you get it out there. You hope that it's liked by people, but also that they understand it, because I think this story is very specific to the African community, I think, because, if you haven't been to a Pentecostal church, you wouldn't really know what happens there. So I really wanted to really, convey and explore, what really goes on in this church, but also can God heal people, so, yeah.
Most definitely, but I've got to say as well, I mean, even though you say about the experience of a Pentecostal church in the African, setting, there's a lot of people who perhaps are African as well that haven't really still experienced Pentecostal church, so I think that's important too. So what was your experience like with this film as well?
Oh, it's very challenging, lots of very long days.
Very long.
But yeah, I think, because I worked on the post-production sound and the recording of it, and I think we really captured it with the healing scene. Yeah. Kind of brought a lot of emotion to it. It's kind of overwhelming, wasn't it? For Marianne herself.
Yeah,
and I think we kind of portrayed that with the sound design for it. Yeah. But yeah, I think...
How did you portray that, the sound?
When it's playing, you can hear all the kind of like the loud African drums, the kind of chanting in the background. And it's almost like you go into your own headspace. And I think that kind of... It's almost like it was actually happening, but at the end of the film, it doesn't. So
it's amazing because your role made me. It's like how can I say this without sounding silly? But it's like to capture my breath. It's like it made me feel as a shorter breath because it just hit me that hard, and that sound really captured that movement, that moment.
I think sound design and sound in general is very important. Yeah, it kind of definitely brings the edit of the film and everything together and kind of portrays the emotion, even if you're not visually looking at it, but you're feeling it. And I think that's what sound brings to it.
How did you find the right sounds for this? Did you work together as a team, or?
Tomisin kind of told me some themes that he was kind of going with, and we kind of experimented until we found something that really worked for it.
Yeah, because I knew that I wanted to be very immersive, Because when you go to African gatherings, there's a certain feeling that you get. You feel very claustrophobic. It's very intense, But also it's very loud. It's always very loud. You hear a lot of drums, a lot of shouting and screaming, because in those churches, faith healing is happening. God is there. God is working wonders. So I wanted the film to feel very kind of intense, So it's very loud, but also the sound is almost very piercing. You hear this kind of like, this it's almost like this drone noise in the background, and because I really wanted to take the audience to that church. I wanted them to feel everything that Moses was feeling, everything that Marianne was feeling. Because then once you're there with them, then you go through everything that they're going through, and it's a lot more real and it's a lot more authentic, you know. So
I love interviewing you.
yeah. But
Honestly.
it's just great because I mean sound is so key. So I mean I was really lucky that Lewis really captured that, because if the sound wasn't as good as it is, I don't think the film will work as well. Because
of course not. No.
It's so pivotal to the film, because I mean sound is important anyway, but I think for this film it was like, you know, imperative. It was important that the sound really, you know, heightens the emotions. It heightens the feeling of this spiritual experience that's happening.
Did you feel pressured because of that? Because you are such a crucial part of this.
We just did lots and lots of revisions until it was right. Well, I suppose it was almost a year before the film was finished.
Absolutely.
There's probably four different versions of the sound edit. Eventually me and Marianne Adamick, who worked on the 5.1 surround sound mix, I think we finally got it really. And you heard a stereo version of it today, but I think it all came together.
Well done. Well done, Tomisin. Again, well done.
Thank you.
Are you going to submit another film?
Hopefully. I know the next one is next year, isn't it? Or is it?
No, it's November.
Then absolutely. I'm going to start writing now. I'm going to start writing because I love this event. You know, I mean, being here again is just strange because I mean I was here 3 months ago and that was amazing, and then being here now and sharing this new film is just incredible because, you know, I mean, we make films to share it. You know, film is a visual medium, and I'm always honored to share it here and amongst like-minded people that really appreciate film, but also appreciate a certain type of storytelling. You know, film is about, you know, that explore African themes, but also strong African characters. It's so rare to have that. So I'm just really, really humbled, really excited to be here. So
thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, it's lovely talking to you as always, Tomisin, and I hope to see you again soon.
3 months.